Well, hello, everybody. I'll wait for some folks to get here before we get started. I just wanted to let you know that there will be a live show tonight. I'm going to join, flies, horses. I'm going to join Jeffrey Doherty again tonight. It's going to be at 8 p.m. Pacific time. So 8 p.m. Pacific time, myself on the New Cosmic Knowledge channel with Jeffrey Doherty. And the reason why I'm giving you this heads up on it is, number one, so you don't miss it. But more importantly, that you can prepare some questions that you would have prior to the show that you could bring into the chat room. And because we're going to be talking about some of the subject matter that I've talked about on the past two videos. So helping you understand the little g God of the Bible, even when he's posing as God and giving himself the big G. So helping you differentiate between those two. Because as you begin to read the scriptures, this is where your confusion begins. And it's a question that's come up to me a number of times, particularly with the latest videos. All very good. Hello, everybody. Good to see everybody. Mystery, Satin Sterling. Hi, Satin Sterling. Good to see you. Lynn McGraw, Love Matters. Curtis Lowe, Jessica, Edwin, Roman, Divided Spiritual Warrior. Good to see you. Rachel James, John Dickerson. Good to see you. Rosa Rivera, Simply Michelle, KT, Ellen Doyle, Kimber Kiss, Ashley Hamilton, Irwin. What is this? Chamalon Lizard, T-Dub, good to see you. Billy Prosky, good to see you. Rhoda Rose, Critical Thinker, 313. Tammy Sanford, Billy Mack, Marianne, don't know the last name, Hatche or Hatche, or Hache. Billy Mack, Love Matters, good to see you. Love and hugs back to you. Carol Ann, Beth, Yarber Keith, Janet, good to see you. Barbara, Crystal Keith, Karen Gutterman, good to see all of you. So tonight, 8 p.m. Pacific time, Jeffrey Doherty's channel. I'm going to post the link for Jeffrey Doherty's channel if you haven't already been there. Let me just copy it from this screen and put it to here. Hopefully it allows me to. Yeah, there you go. It didn't remove it. Yes, 8 p.m., 11 p.m. Eastern time. That's a little late. Jeffrey couldn't do it any earlier than that. So that was required. Lou Machado. Lou Machado. See, Lou, the CH in your directly after the MA in Hebrew automatically gives it the Machado. So back of the throat. Ghost, good to see you. Johnny Be Good, good to see you. Let's Get Real, peace to you as well. And Missy Anderson, good to see you. See you tonight. See you there. Bring everybody. I would say that if you know of anyone, hey, Scrub, good to see you. If you know of anyone that is skeptical, if you know anybody that's on the fence, if you know anybody that is having trouble with this, with these truths, bring them to this show, because we're going to really probably get down to the nitty gritty. I just have a feeling that Jeff and I are gonna dig into this. Now, Jeff's a good guy to do this with because obviously he has a tremendous amount of experience in the organized church. So having gone to Bible college and having learned the indoctrination, he was fully indoctrinated at one point. You have to be in order to go through that process. So, which is why everybody asks when they ask, what doctrine are you speaking? I immediately respond with none of them, because I'm not indoctrinated. There is only truth. So essentially the theme of the show is going to be this. We're going to identify and talk about the single biggest, most well-known heretic in the world, in history, and who that heretic was. And we're also going to discuss, as I was articulating in the live video yesterday, about 2 Corinthians 4:4, the little g God and the big G God. So Johnny Be Good, Paul, question mark? No. But a worthwhile guess. No, Paul would be the Antichrist. You could call Paul the Antichrist, and disguised extremely well. But once we get into that, hello, Michelle Dunn. Good to see you. Daniel 4JC Truth. Much respect to you as well. Racist. You're racist? Rhesus? I don't want to call you a racist. Barbara Lynn, good to see you. Jane, good to see you. Good to see you, everybody, and really try to make it to this show, because I think that Jeff and I are probably going to get, like I said, we're going to get down to the real, to the brass tacks. Let's call it that. We're going to get to the nuts and bolts where the rubber meets the road. Whatever euphemism you would like to use, I think that we'll probably go there. So it will probably be one of those episodes where we offend pretty well every Christian on earth, but that offense is theirs because it will violate their current indoctrination. The truths that we speak about, you know, I was talking to Jeff this morning when we were talking about doing the show, and he was asking me, you know, well, why don't we discuss this and why don't we say this? And I go, there's a time to say that. Now, all of you want to believe that you're fully open, to the truths. But I have to tell you that as many times as I've been through this, and as many times as I've had truths revealed to me, much of what I've received, I received all in a single second. And it nearly killed me physically because it shattered even what I believed about everything. And when I mean everything, even breathing. So when you watch The Matrix and he says, you really believe that's air you're breathing? Our beliefs are incredibly powerful. And so as we go through these things, I only speak the things that I'm asked to speak. And sometimes I've even questioned it. In fact, when I made the serpent video, I did not want to make that video. I wasn't ready to talk about that. Kimber Kiss, mind blown. Your mind is blown? What blew your mind? What part of it blew your mind? And yes, I still have the mohawk under here. So this is the little hat flip there. The lives of many people being changed. Well, this is, again, not to my credit that what I have and what I say isn't mine. So I appreciate the sentiment, but anything that I do, thank the Father for what I do, because it isn't, these things aren't mine. And when we are asked to do something, many of you will see in your lives, when the Father asks you to do something, sometimes it will be incredibly contrary to what you feel that you should be doing. And, but at the same time, in doing it, you know that you have to do it. And there is such a beautiful outcome to it, because once you say it, then you see a response that you couldn't imagine getting back. And you just know that it's the Father's. And it is really important that you know that what I tell you isn't mine, and that I'm just being the obedient servant, that you all must be the obedient servants, and always question the things. You know, the one thing that the Father really is very open with me about is that I question how I'm even receiving his words. So I'm continuously, just in a kind of an English phrase, when he asked me to do the serpent video, he said, speak it, say it. And I'm like, whoa, 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 no, that can't be. No, this is too fast. And he said, say it. And I went, whoa, wait a minute. But if I say that, people will flip. They'll lose their minds. They're going to be angry at me. And he basically showed me exactly what the response would be, which was contrary to what I thought it would be. And so when I did say it, what built my faith in listening and doing as directed was exactly what took place. Exactly what he said would happen, happened. And you, after a while, when you've done that so many hundreds of times, you just stop doubting his word. When he asks you to do something, you just do it. So, Ellen Doyle, good to see you. A messenger. Yes, many of us are messengers. Many of us. Now, what I'm going to tell you this is I'm going to tell you something that I told many people that that I served time with. And for anybody that doesn't know that whole circumstance, I suggest going to my video, my testimony video, and you can hear the details of it. It's fairly innocuous. But I'm going to tell you what I told people that I met there. That when you doubt who you are, and you have doubts as to whether the Father has a plan for you, thunder outside if you can hear that. If you doubt who you are, then take what I say to you now to heart, which is, I don't doubt who I am at all, not even a little bit. I know precisely what my job is, and I know how important it is. And I know that he won't deviate from the plan that he's shown me. So if you know me, not because I'm important, but if you've come in contact with me and I've come in contact with you, then you are part of this plan that he has for me. So if you've got to look anywhere, just rest on that I know that you haven't come in contact with me by accident, and I haven't come in contact with you by accident. That if you're here and you're listening, then he has a plan, and that you are an important part of that plan, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, because this channel and the things that I speak about is not exactly popular, not amongst the ways of thinking of the church and the world that it would be today. But it is precisely as articulated in Scripture as it would be today. That we have, by and large, a apostate church that serves the enemy and believe that they're serving the Father. So when I speak these things, these are not easy truths for people to handle. So tonight's video, we will get into these details. And the good part is that Jeff will get into the scriptures. And this is why it's good to have somebody else there, that he can respond in the very much church fashion, the way that a pastor would respond. He brings the questions to the table that a pastor would bring to the table, because he was a pastor for so long and he's seen and heard all of the questions. And Jeff is very much grown in the last while as well, just as I've seen all of you grow. So this update and letting you know about tonight's show is also to let you know what I've seen on the new site on globalwitness.me, the things that I've seen from everybody, the growth that I've seen all of you go through, to me is remarkable. That love is being established in you in such a strength that it's truly humbling. It doesn't make me feel bigger or more powerful. It's humbling. I just want to lay on the floor and thank the Father for telling me, for using me. Whenever I've asked, I go, why me? Why me? The answer that I get time and time again is, if not you, then who? Who else have I prepared with the things that I've given you? Who else did I give the life, the previous life, and the things so you could understand and see? Who else? If not you, then who? And my response is usually, well, if I can find one, can he take my place? Because this is hard. And the answer is pretty well an emphatic no. So, Scrub, I know I end up smiling every time I watch DB. His words are confirmation of the wisdom I've been given, yet cannot find the words for it. That's exactly it, Scrub. Is that the Father gives you these things. And that statement right there is what Scripture speaks of. Remember, not making it a me thing, not making it an individual thing, that it's whoever is in Christ, that there are those that are intended to speak, to be messengers, to be teachers. And as many of you are now recognizing from Course in Miracles, is that there are students and there are teachers, and the student is always seeking the teacher, and the teacher is always seeking the student, but neither of them know who they are until that time arrives. Well, that's very much this case. But the more important thing, when you read about Christ speaking about that I'm the good shepherd, and my sheep, they hear my voice and they come. I am the one that opens the gate. I will go through the gate and they will follow me because they hear my voice. That's that statement that you made there, Scrub, is that these are things that were already in you, and that I speak these things because you couldn't figure out a way to speak them because you weren't supposed to speak them. Somebody else was intended to speak them. But neither of us are exalted in the situation, because obviously that word was given to you and given to me. It was given to me to speak, and it was given to you to hear. And so we're both part of the same equation. Neither of us are exalted, as Christ articulated numerous times, that the least of you will be the most of you. And that's why I talk about, well, can somebody else take this place? Because this is not a job that everybody asks for. Nobody says, hey, I want that. You think you do. But the second that you're given these things, the responsibility that you feel to speak his word becomes so intent that you don't want to accept anything else. Like I said, I don't watch videos. If somebody has a question and they say, this guy said something, I'll go and review it just for what he said. But I'm not out there searching for answers, because I don't need somebody to tell me. I don't need another teacher. I have one teacher, just like scripture says. I have one teacher, and he teaches me everything, shows me everything. So, Marilyn, good to see you. You're a new name. I haven't seen you. Victoria Cunningham, good to see you. Truth Seeker 777, good to see you. Lolo, good to see you as well. Joe Lake, good to see you. Your message was retracted. Not sure why. Did you say something bad? That's all right. You can. It wouldn't be the first time that somebody said something bad to me. So let's see. What do we got here? Sheila Abrams, good to see you. Hi. Ricky G. Stephanie Allen, good to see you. Hi. Racist, you can't do my job. Well, I think that at some point in time, you'll probably be asked to do something just like this. So don't discount it. Phemonic, hi, good to see you. We are all neighbors here, Tammy. We are. Joe Lake, oh, you pushed the send button before completion. Okay. Hiwi, you too. Denise Gilman, is that how you pronounce that? Sorry if I mispronounce anybody's name. I apologize. Marguerite Brandsma. T-Dub, like I said, good to see you. Ann Foster, good to see you. Lee Wilkins. Gina Peterson. Melissa Roberts. Candace Duval, good to see you, Candace. Candace has been, I think, around from the beginning, haven't you, Candace? Yes, we are becoming one big family. Although, you know, there are many new subscribers. Wow, really big thunder. I said many new subscribers and crack. So 29,707. That's not bad. Whenever I do videos like I did yesterday, it's remarkable to watch. I'll lose 150 subscribers and gain 200. So that's the separation of the wheat and the tare. Please talk about people without souls. Well, you've probably met some that when people have what I would say abandoned themselves to such a degree that their soul is dead, that's what twice dead is. If there's two deaths and they're considered twice dead, they've already gone through those deaths. Just because they're physically still alive doesn't mean they actually have life left in them. They are 100% servants to the enemy. Now, the difference is if you look at, you go back to Lord of the Rings, and you remember that Aragorn had to go into the mountain, and for those that were living, the living dead, that he asked them to fulfill their oath and to come and fight. So think of them as that. They will come and fight. There will be a time. I'll tell you more when I'm supposed to, but there will be a time. So, hi, Catherine. Good to see you. Hi there. And I hope to see you when you get out here. So that'll be great. Get up here and check out Hopi Land. And everybody, let me use this time to tell you this. I'm putting together right now a trip for myself and some other folks. Folks that have different points of views, different ways of looking at things. That we would go to the Hopi Land and to many of the mesas and the caves. Now, the Hopi will tell you that the Anunnaki live in the caves. The Hopi will tell you that that there are shapeshifters out there, as one of my friends that is up there in the Hopi territory as we speak is out there. She is learning that I'm putting together a trip. It's going to just require some funding, so we've got to do some work for the right people because not everybody can afford to come out here and do this. But I'd like to take like Jeff Doherty and Steve from WSO and some other folks, and that we will do a series of videos on a trip over the course of 3 or 4 days. So that means that we would get off the road, get out of the car, and actually go hiking up into the caves and stay in these caves at night and shoot video and everything the whole time. So there would be equipment that would be needed. There would be a lot of stuff. So I'm trying to coordinate that. I think it would be a worthwhile trip to find what we find, what we're intended to find. I know that we're supposed to be there. I know it's supposed to happen. I've already seen it. So it'll happen when it's supposed to happen. And so just trying to rally that up and get that done for these folks. And they've all agreed that they would love to do it and love to come. So we'll make that happen. Also, for many of you that were expecting to come out here on September 9th for a gathering in Sedona, things have changed for that gathering time. We will be having a gathering. It will not be September 9th. For me, Malia gets here on September 9th, so she'll just be arriving that day. We have lots of logistics and lots of things to put together. We have to find a place to live, and so we have to figure that out, where that's going to be. I'll be putting together a studio for both of us so we can do these things and also bring other people in, because many of you, other people come that should be speaking these truths, particularly in different languages. So I would like some people to take some of these things and be able to come into this studio and do videos and not have to worry about whether they know how to edit something or broadcast live. And to increase the awareness through different languages, because I receive a lot of people that watch this using closed captioning all over the world, and I get their messages, and it would be very helpful for them to share within their villages. There is one guy that actually takes his laptop, downloads the video, excuse me, and he plays it for many in the village and translates it for them. And so there's quite a few people there that you don't see them comment because they don't speak English. It's really remarkable at what is happening. So this truth is the way, it is the truth, and it is the life. There is no question about that. And right now we're enjoying a freedom to speak these things. And so while we have this luxury of being able to speak these things, we need to speak them. And the truth needs to be written on your heart. It needs to be written on you. Because as things progress, I can promise you that things are going to get much worse. When this truth begins to have a greater disruption than it already is. And believe me, it is. I've heard from some people in some fairly high places that do not like it. I will not be writing a book, Joe Lake. There will not be a new book. This is the end of the ages. This isn't going to happen again. Nobody will need to read a new book. Yes, we're done with this. It's over. The children of God's patience has worn thin. It's over. Full stop. the enemy's time is finished. So, Sai, as was the days of Noah, yes, it is very much the same, just as it was promised it would be, that people will be giving and being given in marriage and celebrating and drinking and getting drunk and partying like there's nothing wrong. And there will be those of us that are preparing in joy, because it truly is a joyful truth that to know this, that once you're free of it, you're not concerned. A boulder could come and land on this trailer and crush me right now, and I'd say, copy that, it's over for me. Somebody else take the reins, and then one of you step up. So it is exciting, Valerie. Good to see you. Death from above, exciting time to be alive. Bring it. Yes, death from above. You are correct. Lynn, I don't want to see people suffering. No, and this is something, that my sister and I were talking about this morning, that she was listening to a testimony of somebody that had died, and he was very happy in his life. He had a wife, he had children, he loved his family, his children, but when he was separated, he came back, but when he was separated from himself in his death, he knew that he loved his family, he knew that he loved his daughter, he knew that he loved his wife, he knew that he was happy here, but he didn't want to come back. And that's because something that he couldn't really articulate is that this is the illusion. That this illusion is created to also create misery and suffering. And that since we cannot escape the heart of the Father that is within us, the love for one another, that we also feel that suffering. So it's torturous in that way, and the enemy enjoys that. So don't worry. We'll get him back. I promise that. The time is coming. Tracy, good to see you. Greetings. And always with the butterfly. Melissa Lewis. I'm in fear of loved ones not waking up in time. Melissa, you do not need to worry. The only thing you need to worry about is yourself. Think of yourself as somebody that can reach for them. Just you have to make it through the gate. You'll bring others with you. Don't worry about a thing. The distraction of the enemy would make you think that you have to do something, but trust me, believe me on this, and we'll get into the details of that teaching. You do not have to worry. Worry about yourself. You can't save anybody by being concerned about them and worried about them. Be concerned about yourself, and through the manifestation of Christ in you, the best and most effective way for people to find Christ is to find him, literally find him in you, not because you spoke about him, because you had become him. You live and love and learn and find and seek and do everything like him. And it's not because you try to do it. When they say, oh, it's about faith and not works. No, that's a lie. That's why it was spoken of. It says faith without works is dead, meaning that if you truly do have the faith, the works automatically come. You don't have to put them on a whiteboard and check them off as you go through them. You don't have to worry about those things. These will automatically come. You'll automatically start loving the multitudes. You'll love the downtrodden. You'll love the people that come after you. You'll love the people that attack you. You'll pray for those people that attack you. You'll just automatically do it. And it's not something you have to fight and try really hard to do. It's not that big of a deal. So, not that. Sorry about that. So astonishingly, the bandwidth and my internet has been good all through this, even this storm. So I'm very happy and very thankful for that. Willis Churchwell, good to see you. Will Mel, I'm loving this new life I'm finding. Yes, it is beautiful. Dale Wright, hello. Hello back to you. Ricky G, makes you stronger and happier. Yes, it does. Matt Prentice, all by thinking, what would Jesus do? Yes, well, absent of the name Jesus not being the name, but yes, what would he do? But you won't even have to ask that question. That when you begin to start living and you are in Christ, that's your last name at that point. You're given a name that no one knows but yourself. You don't go around saying I'm Christ, but you are. That's why he prayed that you would be. That's why he said that all of him was in the Father and all of the Father was in him, and he wanted you to be just like him. So I send you a link here. Let me show that link there for Ellen Doyle. Got it. See that. T-Dub, Isu, yes. the Apple Man, aka Collins Matthew, good to see you. Rana, such freedom and truth. Yes, there truly, truly is. Barry Chad, good to see you. Jamie Wood. Jamie Wood, any relation to James Woods? I've worked with James Woods, the actor, many times. He's a terrific guy. Very, very sweet man. Not in this truth yet, but I'll drag him over the line. Natasha, good to see you. Hopi NG. Hi, Derek and everyone else. Good to see you, Hopi NG. So just to let you know, again, to go back to the gathering aspect before I jump off here, I've got a bunch of stuff to do. I'm fixing my sister's her minivan. I'm installing a new stereo. I'm repairing the window for her. Her automatic window doesn't go up and down, so I'm putting a new motor in there. I keep myself busy. And I'm handy with my hands. I know what I'm doing. April, why are you crying again? Don't cry. Critical Thinker, good to see you. Ellen Doyle. Seek first. Yes, and they will flee. They will flee. Seek first. So, again, everybody, I'll see you tonight at 8. The gathering is not on September 9th. I will announce a new date when we will all be able to get together and in a place where we will all get together. If you do happen to automatically, for whatever reason, that you feel led to come out to Arizona and you're going to be in Sedona September 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, or 13th, I will probably be going with Malia to Sedona on one of those days because there are some things that are going to be taking place in that specific area because of the copper. There will be some activity that that I'm waiting for. Good to see you, Sherry. Demand, hi, good to see you. Thank you for watching the videos. I'm glad you're enjoying them and getting something from them. Spirit Wind Dancer, you're very welcome. Just doing what I'm asked to do. So if you happen to be out, maybe we'll run into each other. We'll find someplace. We'll go down by the river and we'll chat it up for a while and build a campfire and enjoy. Yes, copper. There's lots of copper in them there mountains. So I love you, everyone. I hope to see you here tonight. Well, not on this channel, but on Jeffrey Doherty's channel. And we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of the truth. Big G, little g, which God, who is who, and what within the scriptures. There's a lot of different variations, folks. He's had a lot of time. The enemy has had a lot of time to make this one big tangled mess. So we're untangling it one piece at a time. One piece at a time for those that are willing to hear. Good to see you, Sheena Smith. Raina Lee, good to see you. Smelvin, Freemasonry is bad. It's definitely not the place to be. I wouldn't want to be one of them. Not for what's coming, that's for certain. I love you all very much. Love one another. Come to the site, globalwitness.me. It's growing like crazy. So I don't know, 500 or 600 people, I believe, today. So that's not bad for a little site that's been up for 2 days. It's very, very nice. Was able to do it because of some very generous folks in the community that want to see the word continually be shared. And I deeply, deeply appreciate them. I love you all very much, and we'll talk soon. Okay? Bye-bye.